It's all the way live. It's all the way live. Yeah, some old school West Coast joint. Let's get into it. West Side, Step Back Kid, once again, coming back again, back to back, off of my series on the East Coast. First round, we saw Memphis, what Memphis did, and they go against the Utah Jazz in the first round. Ja. They're kind of healthy. Jaren Jackson's coming back. They need to get Mr. Brandon Clark into the play mix versus the Utah Jazz, who I think are just too strong. I'm not going to go in depth, but you know what? I got to give the teams respect. Let's jump in there from a stat perspective. Utah, 116 points per game, 48 rebounds per game, 23 assists. That's where the advantage serves to Memphis. They got a big in Mr. Jonas, who's not being talked about this year. All right? Jonas Valanciunas is having a tremendous season. The guy from Toronto is having probably the best seasons of his career with these Memphis Grizzlies teams with him when he's been given the green light. 17 points and 12.5 rebounds per game. Don Mitchell's averaging 26, 4, and 5. He's going to face probably one of the most devastating centers, if not in the league, maybe one of the best centers in the league. And Rudy Gobert, size, length, everything you could want in a player. The Frenchman has come of his own and is really helping his squad win games. If I look at a performance perspective, the X factors for me is going to have to be some of the bench players on the Memphis side. Dylan Brooks is going to have to come through. Bane is going to have to come through and come through special and big. Morant averaging 30 points a game may be mandatory for this series. You know, Jonas is going to have to continue doing what he's doing here with the double-double game, and Jaren Jackson is going to have to step up maybe with a 15, 16-point game. Again, he's recovering from injury. He's not going to be at his prime shape before these NBA playoffs end, so they're going to have to deal with what they got to deal with, maybe a 70% Jaren Jackson from a in-shape perspective. In all, too much for the West Side. Utah takes this series. I'm not going to go in depth in this one because I just think it's too much. Utah, the first game may be stolen by Memphis, right? I talked about on the East Coast, the team being tired, but this team, Utah, has been sitting too long. I worry there's some rust. Memphis may take game one. Don't be surprised if you see that, but the series will be won by the Utah Jazz. Let's move on. Dallas versus LA, a very interesting season. I am really wanting to watch this game and see what we get from Luka and Porzingis. 112 points per game for Dallas, 114 per game for LA. 44 rebounds versus 43 and 24 assists. Everything tells you that the better team is the LA Clippers. We got to see what they get. 24 points for Mr. Kawhi game, almost 25, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Yeah, I'm rounding up. And then we got Luka averaging almost 28 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. The guy is near triple-double. You could see the next Russell Westbrook contender in our decade in Luka Doncic. Now, squad-wise, they are not even, but there's an X factor there who is not really, who's has a great season, but has greater things to come. Porzingis, yes, I'm going there. If he can put up 25, 14, he's going to have to be exceptional. He can't be good like he is now. Exceptional. There's a chance that the Dallas Mavericks could beat the LA Clippers. Now, there's other guys, Brunson and Hardaway, that I think can come through. But in all, for me, it's all about Porzingis. What can they get out of him? There's going to be a lot of big, hard-nosed guys on the Clippers who are more defensive-minded than offensive-minded coming to him. If he can stop those, if he can get through that, there's a chance that the Dallas Mavericks can win. But with that, we know Reggie. Reggie's coming through. Reggie Jackson. They got Rondo. They got Cousins. They have everything they need. It's about unifying a nucleus. For me, LA Clippers take this series, 4-2, 6-game series. I think that's the way it goes. All right. And I believe actually this may be the 3-game series. But anyhow, I got the Clippers winning this, and we go to the next game. Probably the most exciting game of the series is going to be Denver versus Portland. My Lord God. Let's jump in. The war has begun. McConnell. Yeah. Damian Lillard. Yeah. Carmelo Anthony. Yeah. Jokic. Porter. Burton. This team's If Murray was there, it would be an outstanding war. Without Murray, I'm sorry, even with the 26, 10, and 9, almost triple-double for Jokic, and then you got Lillard with the 28, 29, 4, and 7. I got to go with the Clippers. Actually, I got to go with the Portland Trailblazers on this, my man. My dudes, I got to go with the Portland Trailblazers because of Murray being gone. I just don't know who fills that slot. I think it'll be a tough series, but for me, it has to be the Blazers. They need to diversify their offense. They have all the pieces they need to win out this series. The X factor for the Nuggets will be Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon came over from the Orlando Magic. He's going to have to step up with the loss. I always said this. I mentioned I love them. Bo. They're not going to play him probably because they haven't got him up to speed in the regular season. But he could have been that filling spot with a Murray, with a Porter Jr. and a Bobo. That those two hitting stride would be just as good as Murray. I said it here first. You heard it from me. But they didn't play him enough. They didn't get him ready because I know he probably looked washy in the time that they gave him, and they didn't have confidence in him. But that said, it's going to hurt you now because I think the Blazers are coming in full strength. They got their center. They got their power forward. They have a strong bench. They got some older leadership. Blazers should take this series. That's going to be the surprise for the West Coast if there was ever one. All right, we move into the next series in this NBA review of the West Coast. And we're going to definitely hit upon the last of the last. Phoenix versus LA. Do I even got to go into this, man? I mean, it's all about three-point shooting in this game. What will we see from Booker? Suns, 115 points per game. Remember, they're higher point scorers, right? 42 rebounds. Advantage serve Lakers. Then assists. Advantage serve Phoenix with Chris Paul. Chris Paul, Booker, Mr. Bridges, Mr. Miles, DeAndre Ayton. Those guys are guys that really have to step up, especially Ayton. He's going to be facing Mr. Drummond. He's going to have another center come at him as well. Davis is there. I just think there's too much firepower on the Lakers. They should have never been in this place. In the matter of fact, they should have been reversed, in my opinion, in the first place. Phoenix, great season, but can't expect to win against these Lakers teams. LeBron, Davis, Drummond, Schrader, must not go on. It's too much. It's too much for the Suns to withstand. The only hope is the three-point guys go off. Booker and his boy from North Carolina, Paul, everyone starts daggering them. If they start hitting those, I think they're special, with especially Cyric out of there, another stretch four. That's their advantage serve. And I think Ayton's going to have to be the tough guy, but it's too many bigs on the LA Lakers. With that said, that's my playoff prediction for the first round. Let's recap. Lakers take it. Portland takes it. Then we got Utah taking it. And then last but not least, the tough one was LAC versus Dallas. I got LAC taking it. That'll be a tough series. I'm gone. Can't wait for the playoffs. Step back, kids. The war paint is on. We ready for war playoffs. Let's go. I'm gone.